Good morning, children. Today we'll be doing the last part of resonance, that is, some examples of resonance in our daily life. Okay, so it is a natural phenomena, it also occurs in our daily life. You're able to see this happening in our day to day life also. So, we're going to see some examples here. Now, before going into these examples, I would like to, I'm sure all of us have um, had the experience of hearing resonant sound. Okay, simple example is sometimes when it is thundering and lightning, when there is thunder and lightning, you will hear the windows, your window panes and all, no, the metal ones literally vibrating. You can hear them literally vibrating. Okay, that is due to resonance. Okay, in the same way, when you're going in a bike or something, at a particular speed, you'll feel as if the whole bike is shaking. Okay, the whole bike is shaking. If you change the speed, then you won't feel the shaking. Okay, that is also an example of resonance. Okay, so like this, these are some of the examples that we come across in our day-to-day life. Even when we are sitting in an auditorium or somewhere, okay, there is a PA system and we are hearing a sound, or during assembly or something, suddenly you will hear a very loud sound coming out from the speakers. Okay, and you just want to shut your ears. That's also due to resonance. So these are some of the practical examples that we come across in our day-to-day life. Okay, now we are going to see whatever is given in the book. So first is resonant vibrations in pendulum. So this is same as the first experiment, the second experiment. So this doesn't have much practical applications. Now the second one, resonance in machine parts. Now this has a lot of practical application. Now, as I told you, when you are going in a bike at a particular speed, you will feel the bike is literally vibrating or shaking. Okay, so that means resonance has happened. And what happens, or explanation for that? Okay, um, so it is possible. So in this case, um, external, now in every case there will be one natural force, and there will be one external force. Okay, natural force and then external force. Now natural body or natural vibrations, we can say. So body parts of the bike are, body parts of the bike are natural, is the natural force, and the external force is the engine, movement of engine, vibration of engine. You know, engine has a piston which keeps moving up and down. So at a certain speed, some parts of the vehicle, okay, some body parts of the vehicle may have their natural frequency of vibration equal to the frequency of to and fro movement of the piston, or you can just write of the engine, if you, okay, of the engine, because engine is our external force. Okay, at a certain speed, some parts or frame or body parts of the vehicle may have its natural frequency of vibration equal to the frequency of engine. So what happens at this particular speed, that particular part of frame starts vibrating vigorously due to resonance, and a rattling sound is heard. Now, what should be done to avoid this? The question will be, why does it suddenly you hear a loud sound, and what should be done to avoid it? So, the problem with this is, if this part is not fixed tightly, such vibrations may cause the part to drop out. Okay, so if that particular part, maybe uh, yeah, in the mirror stand or something, okay, if it is not fixed tightly, and if this happens often, maybe after few weeks, that will automatically fall down. Okay, it can drop out because it is vibrated too much. So to stop these vibrations at that time, what should be done? Speed of vehicle has to be changed so that the condition of resonance does not hold, means does not satisfy. because this happens only at a particular speed. Only at a particular speed, the vibrations of the body parts of the bike might be equal to the vibrations of the engine, and then they enter into resonance. And at that particular speed, there is violent vibration. If you change the speed of the vehicle, the condition of resonance does not hold, and the violent vibrations might stop. Okay, so this is one important example that keeps coming. Then third, another resonance in a stretched string and sound box of musical instruments and sonometer. So I told you the other day, all musical stringed instruments like guitar and sonometer are provided with a sound box, okay, a hollow chamber. The box is so constructed that the column of air inside it has a natural frequency which is same as that of the string stretched on it, so that when the string is made to vibrate, the air column set into forced vibrations, the frequency of which is same as that of string. Okay, this mostly it comes under forced vibration. Now you saw it as an example. Why are stringed instruments provided with a hollow sound box? Okay, so usually they are asked this as for example of forced vibration. Okay, resonance in air column and tuning fork. This is also experiment number 1 that we saw. Yeah, the fifth one is resonance in a bridge. Okay, sometimes when a troop, okay, troop of soldiers, they are crossing a bridge, they are marching across a bridge. Okay, so you know the soldiers, the way they march means everybody's left leg should be up, means everybody left leg will be up, and that to a particular height, not like Shishya students marching. I know one will swing to left hand, another one will swing right hand, and I know it, how it happens. You all also know, right? That not that kind of marching. Soldiers marching usually it will be in harmony, in the sense they will be doing it together. So they will all be producing vibrations of one particular frequency. Okay, they will be producing vibrations of one particular frequency. Now by chance, when they cross, especially when they cross the bridge, now bridge is the natural body, bridge is the natural force or the natural body, and it will usually keep vibrating with the little bit depending on its own frequency. Now any external body that passes through it, it can force it to vibrate more, or sometimes they enter into resonance. So same thing can happen, that when the troop is marching through that bridge, and by chance the frequency of vibration of the bridge happens to be equal to the frequency of marching of the soldiers, the bridge will start vibrating, bridge will start vibrating violently, and hence it can even break at times. Okay, it can even break at times. So what they tell is, what the troop is advised is, especially when they are crossing a bridge, they are asked to break their steps. That means they'll be asked to march like Shishya students. One left means one right and all that, right? Okay, not their usual marching. Break their steps means not together. Okay, so then they won't produce vibration of single frequency, then resonance is not possible at all. Okay, so remember, in every example you should know which is the natural force and which is the external force. So in this, vibration of bridge is the natural force and marching of soldiers is the external force. So the natural force will start vibrating with a larger amplitude. Okay, only if you know which is natural, which is external, you will be knowing which is going to vibrate with a larger amplitude. The marching soldiers are not going to vibrate with a large amplitude because they are the external force. Okay, it's only the bridge that can vibrate with a large amplitude, and that can lead to crack or breaking of it. Okay, so the first point will be, when soldiers march in steps, means march together, each soldier exert a periodic force in same phase, and therefore the bridge executes forced vibrations of frequency equal to the frequency of their steps. Now if the frequency of steps becomes equal to the natural frequency of the bridge will vibrate with a large amplitude due to resonance, and the suspension bridge might collapse. Okay, they're talking about suspension bridge, not the real strong concrete ones. There are places where they use suspension bridge, which may not be as strong as the other ones. Now, the last important application is resonance in radio and TV receivers. Okay, resonance in radio and TV receivers. This we keep using all the time. Okay, so I'll explain it first. Then, so you all know that. So your TV box is there, or a flat screen, or whatever it is, and this is your TV, and you can control. So you have a remote in your hand and you can control it. Okay, now there is there is a component called receiver. Okay, it's a receiver, signal receiver, and it will have a lot of electronic components. Okay, just imagine it's an electronic components like what you see inside a computer. You'll see some black chip and resistor and all that. Okay, so it's an electronic circuit. Okay, so it will be vibrating at a particular frequency. Now, depending on the channel that I'm choosing, suppose I chose channel number 1. Okay, in my remote there are 1, 2, 3 and all that. Now I press channel number 1, then a particular channel will come on my screen. Okay, and channel number 2, if I press, a particular channel will come. Okay, now what actually happens is, now the signals are coming inside, okay, through either a cable wire, or they can come through a satellite, in the sense come without a cable also. So at a time, you know, there can be 250 channels, 400 channels are also possible. Okay, now each channel will be sent in a particular bandwidth. Maybe suppose 0 to 10 hertz NDTV is coming, 10 hertz to 20 hertz, 0 to 10 hertz NDTV, 10 hertz to 20 hertz Aaj Tak. Okay, and 20 hertz, let's take 3. Okay, 20 hertz to 30 hertz, let's take Star TV. Okay, or Star Plus, or whatever it is. Okay, so this is Aaj Tak, and the frequency range is, so let's take for example, so 0 to 10 hertz NDTV, 10 hertz to 20 hertz Aaj Tak, or 20 hertz to 30 hertz is Star TV. Now these are called bandwidth. Okay, this range is called bandwidth, and this is allocated by the government. Okay, so that means if NDTV sends any program, if it is telecasting any program, it can send its signals only in this frequency range. Aaj Tak, whatever program it is telecasting, it has to send in this frequency range, like that. Okay, so but through a cable, all these channels are coming. Now I have to choose which particular channel I want to see. Now suppose I want to see Star TV. Okay, I want to see a serial in Star TV. Now you know that before that itself, in your remote you would have tuned, when you buy your TV, you would have tuned your remote in such a way that maybe when you press number 3, Star TV will come. When you press number 3 here, Star TV should come. Now that way you have programmed it, or you have set it. Okay, so what happens actually when I press 3, and if I have tuned it to for Star TV to come, what happens is this particular electronic circuit that is here, it will produce vibrations. Okay, it produces vibrations of this particular range. That is, if I would have pre-programmed it as Star TV's signals, then it will produce vibrations in the range of 20 hertz to 30 hertz. Okay, so the electronic circuit can change, can produce vibrations of different frequency. So when I press 3, it will produce vibrations in the frequency range of 20 hertz to 30 hertz, and there is this other thing that is coming inside. Okay, now this is your natural force, and this is your external force. Now what happens? All these channels will be continuously coming, but this will force only Star TV signals to vibrate violently because they both enter into resonance. Okay, because this also produced vibrations in the frequency 20 hertz to 30 hertz, and the Star TV signals that are coming, they are also in the range of 20 hertz to 30 hertz. So what happens? They enter into resonance, and only Star TV signals will be vibrating with a larger amplitude, and only that one you will see on the screen. Only Star TV signals you will see on the screen. Okay, so this is one example of resonance. Yeah, it looks a little complicated, children. It's fine. Like whatever you've understood, you can write it. Okay, so the first point, the radio and TV receivers have electronic circuits which produce vibrations, the frequency of which can be changed by changing the value of electronic components. So this receiver is basically an electronic circuit which has some components like resistor, capacitor, IC means integrated chip and all that. Now by changing the values of this, you can produce vibrations of different frequency. So that is the first point. The second point, when we want to tune a radio or a TV receiver, we merely adjust the values of the electronic components. So when you choose channel number 3, the value of these electronic components are adjusted in such a way that it produces vibrations of frequency 20 hertz to 30 hertz. So when we want to tune a TV receiver, we merely adjust the values of the electronic components to produce vibrations of frequency equal to that of the radio waves or TV waves which we want to receive. Okay, so now when both the frequencies match, resonance occur. Okay, you're actually forcing, when you press 3, you're forcing this electronic circuit to produce vibrations in the frequency range 20 hertz to 30 hertz. Now because out of the coming signals, Star TV is in this range, it enters into resonance. Star TV signals enters into resonance with this, and they start vibrating with a larger amplitude. This is called frequency matching. Frequencies remain same. Okay, so the third point is when both the frequencies match, resonance occurs. And after this is little complicated, so I made a simple sentence, and only those channel is received. Not channels are, you just write only that channel is received. Okay, when both the frequencies match, resonance occurs, and only that particular channel is received. Okay, so this is what will be. So actually what is given here is, and only the energy of signal of that particular frequency is received from the waves present in space, leaving the signals of others which do not match with the frequency. Okay, so all are coming, all the signals are coming, but only you have produced sound of this frequency. So only these undergo resonance and they start vibrating with a large amplitude. These all will be vibrating with the lesser amplitude. So the energy will be less and you can't see them. But because Star TV's signals are vibrating with a larger amplitude, on the screen you are able to watch Star TV. So this is how resonance happens in radio and TV receiver. If you're not understanding it, children, please listen twice or thrice, then you will be able to understand. If you have any pending work, I know the next 2 weeks are going to be a break for you. If you have any pending work, please make sure you finish it. Okay, especially sound chapter, the last 2-3 videos are very important. You can hear them again and go through the book. You will be able to understand it better. 10-mark question comes from sound chapter. It's one chapter that has more weightage when compared to the other chapters. So please understand the importance and listen carefully and make the concepts clear. If you have any doubts, you can clarify it later. Thank you so much.